So first WLPC I went to, I didn't know how to use Twitter. It was Andrew Vonash who actually showed me how to use it and kind of like gave me a shout out and have people help me with stuff. Then later down the journey, I needed some help with APs. Sam Clements, he spent I don't know how many hours helping me configure stuff. He sent me APs, he taught me and carried me. Later, from my friends in Mexico, I got an Aruba 515, to play with AX stuff. And I was going to do a presentation, a demo in Stockholm in the mall there for new Wi-Fi peeps. And I was just struggling, trying to get things working. Put a tweet, and within hours, Aaron Scott from Australia just pitched in and helped me how to fix it, send me files and stuff. Got that working, and then COVID hit. We were sent home. I was not a believer in online training. And I was like scared. We were sent home. We didn't have work for some time. We had to set up for online training. Mr. Parsons drove up to my man cave and helped me set up, a green screen and lights, grab me all kind of stuff. Nick Turner, helped me with the air server, and every little bit just helped, get this thing going. Then, of course, getting the stuff for the man cave, I had Jerry Griffith give me an AP, and then Jiri Brecha, sent me some AX Cisco APs. I also hit a brick wall configuring the stuff at one point, and then Roel Dionisio and the Jiri himself, helped me configure things. So I also got Drew. He said, oh, what are you doing? I see your post. He's like, what do you need? I said, well, some Wi-Fi stands, maybe a mast. Within days, I had some in my doorstep, just getting everything set up. And then the cowboy, Carter, he said, hey, Colombia, what do you need? I said, I don't know, how about some batteries and stuff? And he also, sent me some directional antennas to do some testing. So I've been so blessed, to have all these friends. And we got to share. And I say, how can I share this with others? We were all stuck in our houses. So one day I called a friend of mine in Colombia, Felipe, and we started talking after class. I did a Zoom call, and he was on the back of his backyard just flying a kite. And we just started talking, how's your week? And talking about problems and Wi-Fi and how things were going with COVID and everything. And I told him, you know what? We should probably do this, every week. So next week, I just got all the contacts I had, and I sent an email inviting them to the second Tesos in Wi-Fi. Tesos is a Colombian word for people that are skilled in a specific profession. And he said, the second one, but when do we have the first one? That's the one we had that day when you were flying the kite. And we decided to start doing it every week whenever we could, to have these meetings, just like when you finish work on Friday and go with some friends and talk and share, how was your week in confidentiality sometimes. And 100 people showed up for the first meeting. And then we started doing more and more of those. And of course, I started sharing stuff about AX, what I had learned from Francois and what I had learned from John Kilpatrick. He taught us how to build, a Jetson Nano for under $200. And Jamon Ryan, a Norwegian that has helped with a lot of this stuff. And then we had, Adrian speak Spanish from Costa Rica, so he started doing that. And then we had all kind of guys from, not even the Wi-Fi, these guys, Lisandro from Argentina, he's a radio professional, but not necessarily Wi-Fi, and just sharing. And people started just pitching in, everybody showing up and say, hey, such and such told me about this group. And we started, even when I was on vacation, talking about Wi-Fi and showing stuff and sharing, and people just kept coming. And we try to make this not in a way that is, all professional, you have to be there and your boss is listening. It's no, let's just kind of chill and talk about it. Tell me your problems, and then people come and say, oh, I had that happen. And then we started posting, every single one of these sessions has been posted online. I have a website, thewifiofthings.com, and pretty much every single session, we've done 59 so far. And we just got so used to it that it doesn't matter where we are. I mean, we are one click away from connecting. And people like, this is Manu, he's just like, oh, I'm here with my family walking. And then we start sharing things about my family. That's my son, they're running in the snow, and like we're sharing. And that day, I remember Adrian was on the beach, and we're just like sharing where we are, what are you doing? And I finished class, and this guy like, well, I'm cooking here. This was at the end of the year. And the 24th of December, the 31st, Fridays, we meet on Fridays. And then it just became a thing that, every week we just gather. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If your kids show up, your kids are there. So we try to keep it clean and just professional in the way that you're not stressed, but we're sharing knowledge with each other, sharing about switches, sharing about, because we cannot be experts at everything. So some of these guys like, I don't know how that works, but, I can do switching, and I can talk about VLANs, and I can talk about LoRaWAN, and we can talk about, Sigfox, and we've been learning a little bit, because you get all the experts. Not everybody's an expert in everything, but everybody's got this. Got a LoRa. LoRa means actually parrot. So LoRa, he was like the only one who got a LoRa for that presentation. But it's been kind of an experience that we have created from within our own community. Yes, you might have support contracts and you have the TAC at your disposal, but it's not always that you get, someone that is going to be a human with you. And wherever we are, we just gather, we share, and we just think of the human that is operating all these, really expensive environments. So, as Mr. Parsons said, it's knowledge, you got to share it. If you're not an expert at everything, which we are not, I'm no expert in anything either, but there's something that you're good at. Share it with others. And last week it was Richard who was asking, hey, I have some things, what can I do? Well, especially for you newcomers, this is, a community that embraces and that helps and that educates. That's what we're doing here. And what can you do? What you hear, what you learn here or in your jobs, just try to find a local group. Yes, we meet here. Many of you, like I started, my company didn't support me. Nope, we don't pay for out-of-state travel. Well, we don't pay for conference. And then it was from my own money that I ended up paying, for the first conference that I went to. And then many of you are here without the support of your employers. So because, there's restriction on the budget, and we have to harvest it, and no travel, and COVID, you're paying, many of you are paying from your own pocket. Who's paying from by yourself, that your company? Yeah, several of you. So it's not like we have all the support. So we got to build our own communities. Where you are, just reach out to all of those. And I realize many of you come from all over the world, from Australia, from Europe, from Latin America. And this is something that is similar to like Thanksgiving. I don't know if you have Thanksgiving in your areas, or Christmas, Once a year, maybe twice, you go the extra mile. And then you pay the expense, and you go through COVID test, and then you have to immigration forms, and then you go through all, taking time off work and family and stuff to gather. Because we are not a community. We are a family. And that's what we do. So to all of you, I appreciate your time of being here. I know it hasn't been easy to make it to Phoenix, but we're really glad to be here. Go back, spread the word, share the community, and thanks, Mr. Parsons, for putting this family together. Thank you.